Everyone, and welcome to Exclusive. And today I get the honor and the privilege of interviewing one of my favorite people, the one, the only Leon Schneider.
Jeremy, don't put me too high.
I remember when I first thought of this, you were the very first person I thought of. So.
Well, I hope that get you started in what you're doing this ministry. Sounds great, and people enjoy seeing things like this on Facebook.
They do, because you always learn something new about somebody you've never
really
known
do.
before.
Yep.
Well, I guess we're going to get started here.
Okay.
We've got a couple questions here to ask you. The first one is, where were you born?
Well, I've got to admit I was born right here in Broken Arrow, not in town, but 7 miles east of a little place called Sunnyside.
Okay.
And my mother even called me son. But then we moved a lot longer. We were farmers, moved south of Broken Arrow and started in farming cotton, corn, and stuff like that. My mother got us kids. There was 8 of us, and we would farm the fields. So we grew up there in a little 2-room school called the Weir Community School, and they used to have a little post office there, but they had one store, one school, and it started in the 1st grade through 8th.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a great thing. How did really gospel music and the ministry help your upbringing? How did that influence it?
Well, it was there at that little country church is where we had a great revival. And when I say a great revival, people drove for miles that came and found the Lord. The Spirit of the Lord began to move, and of course we were praying on Sunday nights, and we saw this great revival and move, and you know, it started with that, what I experienced from singing at the little country church and the joy that was found in gospel music. Then I really wanted to, you know, put my heart into it in a greater measure. But there's always something about radio that really got my attention. And so David Ingalls, he was out on Edison there at the radio ranch, and so I had a show called the Bixby Gospel Hour. And so I got into it like that by having sponsors, and have done this for almost 50 years now.
So about what year was that when you started the Bixby Gospel
Well,
Hour?
it would been, I was pastoring about 19 and 16.
Okay, wow.
So it's been about 50 years, different places I've been.
Well, now I know you have your wife, Miss Betty, and I know she's known around Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I say your name, and they know you, and then they know Miss Betty.
She can sing.
She can sing.
Yeah.
She can. And I remember you said even before you married her, her voice was one of the first things that you remember
Really,
about her.
she sang Peace in the Valley in a revival meeting down at Quita. And I said, wow, that little girl can sing.
So how long have y'all been married?
We've been married close to 62 years, maybe 62 years.
Wow. That is amazing.
1955. We both went to Broken Arrow High School and graduated. I graduated in 1953, and in 1955 she graduated. Then I went on to Bible school in Cleveland, Tennessee, and then when I got back, they appointed us to our first church, which was Guthrie, Oklahoma. And so we were really kids. She was 18, I think, and I was about 20. Went there and pastored a little church. Got a lot of experience right quick. So there's, you know, when I think about, Jeremy, all the places that God has led us into, but we've pastored the church there in Guthrie, and then we went to Oshaleta, which is south of Bartonsville.
Right.
There was there 2 years. Our oldest son was born, and he was my drummer after he grew up, really good drummer. And then after that, we went to evangelistic work, and we got to travel in crusades in Spain. We helped Madrid and down where the Rock of Gibraltar is, there, Malaga, in that area. So God has blessed us to be able to go places, Western Samoa, American Samoa, Honduras. And
you've gone to Israel as well.
Gone to Israel. Pastored the church there at Kaneohe, Hawaii, Alice State. So that was a really tough. But somebody had to do it. We did. But it was great. The Hawaiian people were wonderful. We enjoyed that experience. Puerto Ricans and just all kinds. So we were glad we were able to do that. Then we also pastored the Quita Church for 3 years, Wagner 19 years. Bixby, about 3.
Where did you pastor at Bixby?
We were there by high school, across from high school.
Okay.
They've moved it now out east, west of where you live.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
But it was a little church down there, and we experienced some great revivals there.
Praise
Yeah,
the Lord.
it all started in that prayer room on Sunday night.
It's amazing where God leads you from.
Yeah, but it works. Prayer still works.
It does. It does.
But it's been a joy. I just celebrated my 81st birthday.
81st. That's what I was thinking. People would be surprised to know you're really 81 because
Yeah.
you do not seem like that age.
Really? Well, thank you. You're a nice boy. But I'm amazed at your talent to playing the piano.
Well, I think we've both
And we
been
worked
very
together on
blessed.
the radio some, and you got great potential. Yeah, so
You've been in gospel music for quite a few years, as you would say. What changes have you really saw in the music?
well, you know
just
what?
from your perspective.
What really got me was back in the '60s when contemporary came on really strong. David Baroni and all these guys coming out, and I built this 50,000 watt station up on Inspiration Hill, West Tulsa, and so Southern Gospel was about to die out.
Right.
And Tom Letting and me and a few more, we had to really fight just to get money to keep sponsoring Southern Gospel, because contemporary, there was Charlie, he was Cheerful Charlie on the KCFO. You know, he's out to church at night.
Right.
Yeah,
I remember
but
that.
he was a big time DJ on that station. Okay. But he was contemporary. So I bought some of my profit I made off that station. I put it back in buying time from them on Sundays to play my Sunday praise show, and so that helped out, and I kept it alive. Then I went to KTFX, which was a 50,000 watt station, Bill Payne, and Bill wanted me to come over there, and I done a Sunday morning hour show, and I was hoping I could reach those that got up on Sunday morning, but out maybe, carouse on Saturday night and get them to hear a gospel song, and because that is the power of gospel music. One song can change a person's life. They've told me that. You played one song, I was thinking about taking my life.
Right.
And that song changed my direction. So that's been the joy of it, and
that's been your calling.
Yeah,
I know for many years.
And I can reach far more, just through those 2 hours every Saturday on the gospel station than I would just pastoring the church, and I enjoy it.
Well, that's great.
Yep.
That is amazing. The life-changing power of one song can really change someone's life.
Music, yep.
I don't know who will be watching this, but whoever may be watching this, they may not know the Lord, or they may, but they may really be encouraged through this, that one song can change a life.
Yep.
And that if they don't know Jesus, they can come to know Jesus.
Really.
Now, one of the things that you and me used to ride back, of course, when I was going to with you for almost a year and a half from the station, we would ride back 30 minutes almost every Saturday, back and forth. And you've told me story after story, and that's one of the reasons when I started this, I thought of you, because you've got so many incredible stories. And you told me the story about how you experienced a stroke years ago.
Well, before that, when I was just at the age of 12, I had polio, took polio.
Yes.
And the doctors came, and I was running this high fever. We lived out south of Broken Arrow. And the doctor examined me and said, that's when a lot of young people were getting polio. And he told my mother, said, he'll never walk again. But he didn't know her, how that she was a praying mom.
Yes.
And she prayed for me, and God instantly healed me. And I got through that one. Then I had a stroke about 10 years ago, and it could have been worse, but God was able to get me through where I can still do the gospel DJ and do pastoral work at Broken Arrow. So I'm just going to keep on keeping on,
Keep on
as long as you
keeping on.
enjoy it so much, why quit?
Why quit?
Even when I get to 90.
Yes, and that's one of the best things to do.
My mother lived to be 98, so I've got a ways to go.
So honestly, when you told me that, I would have never dreamed you would have experienced a stroke by how you act, by how you do anything. And that shows the incredible power of God and what He can do. And even the incredible power of prayer.
And we'll put Him first.
Yes.
Seek His kingdom first. That's been the secret. Even in our marriage, everything else, to live this many years together.
Then all these things shall be added unto you.
Shall be added. So he's blessed with a nice home. Just had a wonderful life, wonderful family.
That's a great thing.
Yep.
Now, I know you've experienced a lot, and you've made a big impression on me. Now, for other young people that are wanting to get started in gospel music or in DJing or anything like that, what advice would you give them?
Well, there's several ways you can do it. Of course, you can go to school and learn it by, getting school learning. But I never did do that. I was just doing a hour show with KHJM, and the manager came in and said one morning to me, said, how would you like to do the morning show here? And I said, well, fine, if you don't think I can do it. So that was Muskogee for about 12 years. I'd done a show called Sunrise in the Morning. And people called in. We had a great time those 12 years with the station there. But they're just so much fun in doing radio that I encourage young kids to get in some way.
Now, you are presently with the gospel station, correct? How long have you been with the gospel station?
I've been about 10 years with Randall Christie.
Right.
And the station on Mulgee Henrietta. He was needing some help and called me and asked if I could be interested in doing some.
And I remember you told me that Donnie Williamson of the Williamsons was a big part.
He heard me all the time on this station.
You see, it's amazing how different people and just certain circumstances just change situations, and then how God uses it all to bring into.
But I was using that little statement that Randall is fine me playing the best music this side of heaven. And I would always say, and that's gospel, because good news. Because if you don't add the gospel,
there's nothing left.
And I once time doing interviews in Branson, and Mickey Gilley especially, I was backstage with him.
Wow.
And I wanted Mickey to say that because of Jimmy Swagger,
Right.
But he done it. He went back and he cut me a promo on you're listening to Leon Schneider on KHJM playing the best music this side of heaven, and that's gospel. So it's been fun. I'm still having it.
Well, that's great.
I appreciate you taking interest in it.
Well, you've been a blessing to me.
You love music.
And
you can play it.
I do.
So I predict big things for you.
And I know a lot of people out there that I've met through Facebook and other social media networks. A lot of young people that I've saw, Kentucky, North Carolina, Tennessee, and other surrounding areas, Georgia, that love this music and love the Lord. Now, what a lot of people really don't know is you are a DJ, and they know that. And a lot of times I'll go to different churches, and they'll ask me something. I'll say, well, I was with Leon Schneider for about 1.5 years, and they will know you from the radio. Yeah. But what a lot of people don't know is that you are a pastor as well. You pastor a church on Sunday morning in Broken Arrow.
Yeah. Well, after we retired in Wagner after 19 years, our health was still pretty good. So I tried several churches, sitting, listening to the preacher, and Betty's just sitting there not singing. I thought, wow, we can still do some more. And so the Seventh-day Adventists here in Broken Arrow, across from Bass Pro, they were nice enough to me to say, we could rent it on Sunday, and they use it on Saturday. So we worked together. And Brother Calvert is a wonderful man, pastor of Seventh-day Adventists.
That's great.
So we can keep ministering, do what we can. And our church has been growing, and seeing new people come. And we do a singing here in our home. Jeremy, you've been here. Every the Thursday night, we all gather here in this living area and just go around the room, Church of Christ, Baptist, different denominations, and we sing. And then my wife has food, and we fellowship. It's really a great time. People enjoy it. But this is something that churches, whatever church you go to, that you can come together on music.
It is.
Yeah.
Music is a unifying force. It's a worldwide unifying force that can unite so many. As you said it, one song can change a life.
Yep.
Now, as you are a DJ, you are a pastor, and you, of course, you do nursing home visitation. I've gone with you out there. You do services at the nursing home. And you're a grandfather. And I know you do a lot of stuff with your grandchildren. And so you are constantly going. And for someone 81, that is just really surprising to me.
Well, I'm grateful. God's been good. You know, so
we have an
no
incredible
complaints.
God.
Yeah.
We really do. Now, do you have something you would like to share, just personally, from you? Anything you can think of?
Well, you know, I just want to encourage the youth. We really need the youth to sing Southern gospel, keep this thing going. And we're seeing that a lot in the conventions,
Yes.
National Quartet Convention. So I'd like to encourage these young, get together, church, start groups, and begin to sing and share, enjoy gospel music, because it can really keep you motivated and going on. So I just want to encourage them to do that.
I know myself, gospel music has helped keep me on. Sometimes being a Christian, as you know, is hard because many times you don't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
You have a few along the path, but I know for me a lot of things has been I don't have a lot of people my age.
Yeah.
But gospel music has taken and helped keep me on the path of God and keep me close to Him by listening to His voice.
Yep.
And that is one thing about, I've once heard it said that every song is like a sermon within itself.
It really is.
Now, we got one final question, and I had to, what I call, really change this and kind of tweak it back and forth to try to get the right words, because when you hear it, one person said it's just kind of self-incriminating, but when it's all said and done, what do you want your life to have said to others?
Well, it's just like, you know, at the Gaithers of the night, a guy came up to me, Wagoner, Ron Henderson, and he told me how much he really enjoyed that program. And I said, well, sometimes you wonder because people don't call the stations much anymore when
Yes.
you're on the air, and you feel like, well, you're not doing a lot of good. But he said, oh, no, so people are listening, don't quit. Even though I'm 81, but, you know, I'm just hopingly that what I've said and done, played songs that lift people up and change their direction also. I'm hoping I can leave a mark on people's lives.
Well, I know you've left a mark on my life, and I think you've left a mark on very many. And sometimes we will not know the impact our lives have made till we reach heaven.
Yep.
And I'm so grateful that you allowed me to do this today with you. And how can people contact you if they want to contact you?
Here in Broken Arrow, of course, they can just call my cell number.
Right.
918-698-1626.
Right.
I'll be glad to talk to them and let them tell me maybe what, you know, blessing I've been to them.
I know if someone is watching this and they don't know Jesus, they can call your cell number, they can call mine.
Yeah.
You are also on Facebook, they can message you through there. Then, of course, we cannot forget to invite people to your church on Sunday, the Bread of Life Christian Fellowship.
That's 1311 North Kenwood Drive.
It's kind of over there by the Bass Pro.
Across the street, but you got to go down to Maine, north of Maine. They're in Broken Arrow to get to it. Go over the hill.
And so we cannot forget that. So if people want to contact you, they can.
Yeah.
I hope this will, and of course your radio show every Saturday morning, 9 to 11, 91.5, the gospel station.
Yep.
And so they can listen. For those of you that don't know, he has a radio show, 2 hours every Saturday morning.
Yep.
I know some people don't listen to radio much anymore, but if you don't, you have time, listen in.
Yep.
Hello everyone, and thank you for watching the very first interview of Exclusive. Brother Schneider and I just had a wonderful time in that interview, and I told him before I left, I said, Brother Schneider, we are just going to have to do another interview because we just had so much fun, and he's still got so many more stories to share. And I hope you really enjoyed that, and I'm just so grateful that you tuned in for the start of Exclusive. What I'd like to share with you a little about is just kind of what Exclusive means a little about. Some people ask, what does Exclusive really have to do with me? Exclusive, as you see on our pages, it means incredible stories because of an incredible God. Through these interviews, I hope that many times they will provide something that you need in your life, meaning sometimes we are down and we all get down, and sometimes we just need some cheering up, and we need something that reminds us to keep going and to keep trusting in Jesus. And I pray that that's one of the things Exclusive will remind you and me and each of us of. Many of you have sent me some things, such as, what can we do for Exclusive? Well, Exclusive operates, number one, first of all, by the Lord. Second of all, by you and your support. And I don't mean monetary support. Nowadays, most everything means monetary support. But the support that I mean is the support such as sharing our pages, telling your friends about interviews, and simply watching the interviews. Many times we may have some people you may not know, and sometimes it may seem like, well, why do I want to watch somebody I don't know? But usually they have a story, and what I call an incredible story to share, that may just impact your life. Many of the people that I believe we will be bringing to you have, I know, influenced my own life, and I pray that through these interviews they may influence yours. I want to thank you once again for tuning in to the premiere of Exclusive, as I call it, and we hope that through your support and through the Lord Jesus Christ, we will be able to continue this. And so I'm going to say, I'll see you next month.